also a lot of preaching that goes behind them. We wanted to focus on Tyagaraja, of course, who's one of the foremost composers of our time, of recent history. And we wanted to take 3 of his songs and for each song we wanted to explain the meaning behind it and the philosophy behind it. One of the things about Tyagaraja was, even though he was a composer, he actually had a lot of compassion for his fellow human beings, and we wanted to go along that narrative as well, and also wanted to tell a small story about one of the songs and how that song happened. So Tyagaraja just wouldn't compose a song just like that. There was something that would happen in his life, and a song would come out of the response to that event. So a lot of the songs happened like that, and Shantiji and I brainstormed, and we wanted to do that. Another thing that I want to let everybody know is that I know we teach our kids music, but you should also sing that. And like one of the things that my wife and I do, we pull this trick in our car. We start singing the song and we just sit quiet, and the kids start singing. Last year, one of the songs that was in Shantiji's thing was Ganamurti. And Ganamurti is one of the 3rd ragas, right? And it's very dynamic, very nice. And every kid who was listening was also picking up that song. It was one of the most popular of the program last year. So with that, we will start with an invocation to Ganapati.
Saving
And it's a very joyous song. When you think about Ganesha, right, two things come to mind: his love for food and dance. And Tyagaraja encapsulates those two in this song. So Shri Ganapati Sevim Parare. So basically, Sevim Parare means come serve or do your prayers to Ganesha. Sritamana means Sritama or devoted persons. Sritamana Manavlara means people, and Sritam means devoted. So the first thing is let's come and serve Ganesha. Then the next line, which is the Anupallavi. The first thing is, of course, the Pallavi, Anupallavi, Charanam, which is the standard syntax. The Anupallavi goes like this: Vaghadipati Supujale Chekoni Vaga Natimpu Shunu Vedalina. So what Vaghadipati is, Vag is speech. The Vaghadipati is the lord of the speech. Vag is Saraswati, lord of the speech is Brahma, right? So he also prays to Ganesha. So in the pantheon of Hindu, Ganesha is above Brahma. That's kind of the message that is kind of subtly put here. Puja Raches, he's also praying. So even Brahma is actually praying to Ganesha. Bhaga Natimpu. Bhaga means he's dancing. Bhaga is doing something well. Natimpu is dance. Bhaga Natimpu is he's dancing well. Vedalina. So one of the things about one of the signatures of Tyagaraja is you'll see a Vedalina a lot in his songs. There's one of the songs is called Vedalenu Kodanda Pandi, right? Another song is Raju Vedala Chuta Murare. There's a lot of, every time you'll see some of the words they'll keep repeating in one of Tyagaraja's kృtis. And of course, right, then he goes into the Charanam, he talks about his love for food and his passion for dance, right? So if you take the family of Shiva, Parvati, Ganesha, and Kartikeya, you never see or hear Kartikeya dance, right? So when in Kailasha, when they're having parties, Shiva and Parvati are dancing, whereas Ganesha is also dancing along with them. And of course, there's a Hindu mythology story where Ganesha is dancing and he falls down, and then the moon laughs at him. And there's another story that is recited as a part of Vinayaka Vratam, right? So, in this Charanam, he talks about how he likes his food, and there's only specific food that he likes. Is Panasa is jackfruit, and that's one of his favorite foods of Ganesha, and Narikela is coconut. Those are the two favorite fruits that he likes. And he also likes other jambus and other type of fruit, and then he's eating all these fruits. And then Ghanataram. Ghanam means Ghanam. It's in Tamil, Ghanama, they say Ghanama, correct? In Telugu also it's Ghanam, but they also say Baru. So it is, some of the words have a common meaning in both Telugu and Tamil language. Mahipai Padmula Ghallu Ghallu Nachu. So he's making all these sounds. Ghal Ghal. That's one of the typical sounds that you hear from thing. And then the last Sharanam is very profound in the sense that one of the things I would all recommend, for you and your children to do is to listen to various compositions by various singers. This Charanam is actually well sung by Maharaja. Like every time I hear it, I just kind of like go like this, Anayam Hari Sharana Yuga Mulanu Hridayam. So there's very, very deep, he sings it very deeply. So one of the things I would recommend for you is to listen to different people and see how they sing, and try to imbibe that. And this is one of the deep meanings in this sense. Anayamu Hari. So Hari is of course Vishnu. Charanam is the feet of Vishnu, right? Anayamu Hari. All the time he is having the feet of Vishnu. Yugamulam, again, all the time, right? Anayamu Hari Sharana Yugam. So Hari, all the time, Sharanam, in all the yugas. Hriday, he has it in his heart. Anayamu Hari Sharana Yugamulanu Hridayam Pujamulanchi. So then he explains how he has the heart of, how he has Vishnu in his heart. And then he ends with, of course, we know Ganesha for what? The remover of obstacles, right? And he's basically saying he's removing the obstacles of Tyagaraja. Vinayamunu Tyagaraja Vinatudu. And how he does it? By dancing. Vividha Gatula Di Thalangumana Vedalina. So he's always dancing, and the way he removes the obstacles of people is by dancing. And he's removing the obstacles of Tyagaraja. That is the meaning of the song. It's one of the very popular songs that is sung as a part of Pancharatna Kritis and at the beginning of an invocation of every concert. One of the things I want to kind of start a chant is that Tyagaraja's last name was Kakarla. It's not widely known for the kids, there's something to remember and write it down. So I'll say Sri Kakarla Tyagaraja Swamiki, and you all can say Jai, okay? Sri Kakarla Tyagaraja Swamiki. Jai. And we'll proceed to the next song, which is Bhaga Yaliya, which is another song in the Raga Chandra Jyoti.
Bye. బాగాయనయ్యా నీ మాయనంతో బ్రహ్మకైన కొన్ని యాడతరమా 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 బాగాయనయ్యా నీ మాయనంతో ఈ గారడమును యోనరుచుచును ఈ గారడమును యోనరుచుచును ఈ గారడమును యోనరుచుచును ఈ గారడమును యోనరుచుచును నే గాఢనుచు బల్గతియను నే గాఢనుచు బల్గతియను నే గాఢనుచు బల్గతియను బాగాయనయ్యా నీ మాయనంతో బ్రహ్మకైన కొన్ని యాడతరమా బాగాయనయ్యా నీ మాయనంతో అలనాడు కౌరవులనచమన అలరి దోషమని నరుని చూచి పావలనాడు కౌరవులనచమని అలరి దోషమని నరుని పాపజు అలనాడు కౌరవులనచమని అలరి దోషమని నరుని చూచి పాప ఫలము నీకు తనకు లేదని చక్కగా పాలనము చేయలేదా త్యాగరాజనోద ఫలము నీకు తనకు లేదని చక్కగా పాలనము చేయలేదా త్యాగరాజనోద
one of Tyagaraja's songs. It's got a very deep philosophical meaning. So, Bhagayanaya Nimayalanto. So, one of this is actually focused more on Krishna. So, typically, he usually picks a theme and a god specific incarnation. But in the song, it's more about Krishna. And one of the things about Krishna we all know is Maya, right? So he's always Maya Krishna, that's what we say. So the song basically praises him and his Maya. So the song goes like this: Bhagayanaya Nimayalanto. So Bhagayanaya means awesome. Now how awesome are your Mayas? Okay. Brahma Kaila Puni Yadatam. So his Mayas are so awesome that even Brahma, who created all the lokas, he's not able to comprehend it. Right? So there's a story in the Bhagavatam that goes like this, where Krishna, Brahma says, I'm going to test this kid. You see to really Vishnu, and then he hides the kids, and then Krishna sees this, and then he creates the kids and the cows again, and then Brahma is kind of flustered. Hey, what's going on really here? So there's a song, there's a story behind it. So again, there is always some kind of a divine story that is even in a phrase of the song. Okay. That's Bhagayanaya Nimayalanto. How awesome are your Mayas? Even Brahma is not able to comprehend it. That is the Pallavi. The Anupallavi is again talks about again can I explain the song thing again? E Garudamnu Yonarinchinu. You are doing all these Mayas. You are doing these Mayas all the time. But then Ne Kadanuchu Palkutai. So when it says, hey, why are you doing all these Mayas? He says, no, I'm not doing it. So that's a typical, in Krishna Avatara, that's a typical act. It's like somebody says, hey, wow, your Maya was awesome. He's like, no, I didn't do it. Kind of like, in the house, suddenly water is all over the floor. You have 2 kids, he asks, who put the water on the floor? None of them did it, right? So same thing. So Krishna is saying, he's always saying, no, I'm not doing the Maya. Even though he's the one who is doing all the Maya.
You were also mentioning the other example where Krishna always breaks all the butter pots and buttermilk pots and then says, Amma, I never did it.
So same theme. The Charanam is one of the beauties of this song is, a lot of the Tyagaraja songs are very descriptive. It's like it describes God, it says how awesome the God is and all that. But again, Tyagaraja is also a teacher, he's also a humanist, and he wants to convey the message to the devotees. Alanadu Kauravula Nanachamana. So Kauravas are the Kauravas, right, in the Mahabharata. Alanadu, in that day, Nanacha means we are about to kill the Kauravas. Alanadu Kauravula Nadasamana Alarito Shamani Naruni Chuchi Papa. So Alanadu Kauravula Nanachamana. We are about to kill the Kauravas. Who was about to kill the Kauravas? Arjuna, right? What did Arjuna do at that time? He screamed. He said like, oh man, I'm going to be committing a lot of sin. Alanadu Kauravula Nadasamana Alarito Shamani Naruni Chuchi. So Arjuna and Krishna are also referred to as Naranarayana, right? So that reference also comes here. Naruni Chuchi. Nara is Chuchi. So he looks at Arjuna and says, Papa Palamu Niku. Papamu is sin, Palamu is benefit. Papamu Palamu Niku. Niku yours or Naku. It's not for mine either. So what he's basically saying is he takes the whole of the Bhagavad Gita and just condenses it in like one line. And then Papa Palamu Niku Thanaku Ledani. So it's the Papa is not for you, the benefit is not for you, the Papa is not for me, the benefit is not for me, just do your job. Thanaku Ledani. Then Chakkaga Palanam. One of the things, and again, Chakkaga is another favorite word of Tyagaraja. It's a Chakkani Raja, Chakkani Margam. So he keeps using these signature words all the time. Chakkaga Palanam. Palanam is preach. So Chakkaga Palanamu Chayaleda. Chayaleda means didn't he do it? So Tyagaraja did talks about the beauty of that, the whole, if you, in a lot of Indian households we have the Bhagavad Gita thing, right? It just encapsulates that in this one charanam very well. And one of the things, Shreya Kodela was one of our students. She actually memorized the Bhagavad Gita and sang and recited it in the temple. One of the things that we all know is that, even though we see only Arjuna, there are actually 4 people listening to Bhagavad Gita. One is Arjuna himself, one is Hanuman because he's on the flag, right? And he's also listening. Then Sanjaya is listening. And the 4th, there's one more person, he's the son of Ghatotkacha. He's also listening. And he's on a mountain top. The beauty of him was that he always fights on the losing side, and whichever he fights, that side will win. He says, I'm going to fight for the Kauravas. So Krishna says, no, you shouldn't fight. Please, don't fight to this war. So he takes them. So this, the Bhagavad Gita is listened to by 4 people. And Tyagaraja just encapsulates the whole of the Tyagaraja, or the whole of the Bhagavad Gita in this song. Bhagayanaya and Raga Chandrajyoti is one of the most amazing songs that you can listen. I would recommend listen to the performance by Balamurali Krishna specifically, and also by Imal Vasant Kumari. Both of them have sung it incredibly well. The YouTube's it's available on YouTube. Thank you.
The third one, last one, Enta Nerchina, Enta Juchina, and Shuddha. He was talking about deep meanings and philosophy. I thought about musically, let me bring in a fast number also, not just the slow ones. Enta Nerchina, Enta Juchina, Enta Nerchina, Enta Juchina, Enta Nerchina, Enta Juchina, Enta Nerchina, Enta Juchina, Enta Varalaina, Kantada Sule, 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 Enta Nerchina. Santatam Pushi 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 Kanta Swandasi Santatam Pushi Kanta Swandasi Dhantavaina Marga Chintaleniva Santatam Pushi Kanta Swandasi Dhantavaina Marga Chintaleniva Enta Juchina, Enta Juchina, Enta Varalaina, Kantada
parahimsa parabhamanyadana parahimsa parabhamanyadana parahimsa parabhamanyadana paramanava apavada parahimsa parabhamanyadana paramanava apavada parajivana 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 dulakanatame parajivana dulakanatame parajivana dulakanatame bhashincharayya tyagarajanuta bhashincharayya tyagarajanuta enta nerchina enta juchina enta varavina kantadasule enta nerchina enta juchina.
Before he starts his beautiful explanation, most of you are ladies over here. I just want to put in a little laughter matter. Kanta Dasu is wife's slave.
Thank you. So there's actually a short story behind this. So Tyagaraja has a friend in the village of Trivaya. So this gentleman had gone to Kashi, Rishikesh and all of those places and had gotten, Gangajalam and all that. In those days, what happens is, if you go to all those places and come back, you invite your friends and then you give them as Thambulam, right? So this person goes to Tyagaraja's house and says, hey, you know what, I've gotten all these nice things from Rishikesh and all that. Let's, why don't you come over for lunch and I'll give you some. Tyagaraja says, okay, fine. So he goes back home and Tyagaraja says, hey, you know what, he tells his wife, hey, you know what, I'm gonna go have lunch and come back. So just you go ahead and have your lunch, I'll come back. So he goes to that house. So his friend's wife is not a big fan of Tyagaraja. Now we all think Tyagaraja was great and all that, but in the village he was not really liked for a while. And that's because he spent all his days teaching music or singing music, and his brother would take care of all the fields and all that. So Tyagaraja was really not in hard labor. Okay. But anyway, so a lot of the women in the village, they thought he was not very good, right? Even though we think of him as great. Especially this man's wife was actually his. So Tyagaraja had a brother called Japkesan, and Japkesan's wife also was not a big fan of Tyagaraja, and the wife of this householder was Japkesan's wife's friend. So she didn't have a high opinion of Tyagaraja either. So Tyagaraja comes to their house, and the battle going on inside. The wife says, no way I'm going to feed him. He's not good for anything. All he does is sing every day, and he doesn't do any work. So Tyagaraja figures out what's going on. He's like waiting. So he calls his friend and says, hey friend, come over. So the friend is like, oh man, what am I going to do? What am I going to say to Tyagaraja? Tyagaraja is very smart, right? He's like, he knows what's going on inside the house. He says, hey, you know what? I won't be able to make it for lunch today. That's why I came to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So Tyagaraja is very cultured. He knows that there's a battle going on. He doesn't want to make it worse. And then he goes back home. And his wife is like, hey, you said you're going to come late. I already had my lunch and now, you messed up my day. And Tyagaraja was like, don't worry about it. Take the tambura. So he starts singing the song. So that is the story backdrop behind this song. And then, so he starts singing the song, Enta Nerchina, Enta Chuchina, Enta Doralena, Kanta Dasule. His wife, she gets, she's like, okay, why is he singing this song? And then why is he saying, Rama is the slave of Sita? She thinks of it like that way. So Tyagaraja is like, usually when Tyagaraja is singing or doing something, nobody will interrupt. But this time, his wife says, hey, wait a minute, what are you doing? I mean, Tyagaraja, Rama is our devotee, is our God and all that, and how can you do this? And then he explains why he's singing that song, why he's singing that way. And the reason he tells his wife is that, Rama, right? He, in the Ramayana, he goes after the deer because his wife asked, the golden deer, because his wife asked him. So he says the reason he did that was because everybody says Rama is great, but everybody says Dasharatha is not great because he listened to his wife and sent him out to the forest. So to make his dad look good, he does this thing. So that is kind of the backdrop behind it. So what Tyagaraja says in this song is this, Enta Nerchina, Enta Chuchina. Enta Nerchina is how much ever you learn, Enta Chuchina, how much ever you see, Enta Varlena, how great you are, you're still a slave to your wife. And he's talking about Rama, Dasharatha, and everybody else. The next line is Santatampu Shrikanta. So we have Mr. Shrikant here. Those Santatampu is always. Shrikanta is Shri Kanta. Kanta is Lakshmi, Shri Swanta in the heart. Who's got the heart of, who's got the Lakshmi in his heart is Vishnu. Siddhantamaina Margam. So whoever does not follow Siddhantamaina Marga Chintaleniva. Whoever is not worried about Siddhanta Marga will not worship Vishnu, who's got Lakshmi in his heart. That's kind of the second Anupallavi. And then he finishes by saying, Parahimsa Para Pamanya. So people try to progress in their lives by abusing others and trying to covet the wealth of others. And they try to commit all kinds of sin. But the only way to get rid of all of this is to do Sharanagati in Rama. And that kind of message, Vashincharam, that is a kind of message Tyagaraja would like to do all the time. So that is kind of that is the humanity of Tyagaraja, where he's always trying to preach. We all think of him as a guru, but in reality he was a rishi. He was a rishi, he was a guru, he was a teacher, and he cared about his humanity. He cared about others to a large extent. And a lot of his songs express his compassion for his fellow human beings, and he's always preaching them and telling them, come to the path of Siddhanta, come to the path of Vishnu, come to the path of worshipping him. This is a quick presentation we put together. So we wanted to kind of, when you're teaching your kids, try to learn the meaning of the song and see whether there's a historical backdrop in the song, so that we just don't sing, but there's a message behind the song. With that we will end right about time. Shri Kakarla Tyagaraja Swami ki Jai.
The corridor of slavery several centuries back, right? But by the way, men folks, we are doing this because we don't want Rama to be treated that way. We want Rama to do Dasharatha, we are doing Rama.
Yes, fair.
Exactly.
Totally agree.
Thank you very much for coming on a Sunday morning. It's not easy, I know that. And especially the kids, very encouraged to see them because yesterday school is over and they were gone. But that's a special applause for all the children. This is only a small sampling of a message all of us are getting, I mean, including me. We are just learning to sing some songs, but learning with the meaning, with the story behind it, gives a bhavam and bhakti from inside. So that even if you learn 10 songs, compositions like this way, I think we have accomplished a great. So this is a sampling of this whole thing. Thank you very much for the efforts. Thank you very much, Sandeep. Thank you, sir, for explaining.
And thank you for calling me this.
Thank you very much. If you don't mind, we want to stack the chairs against the wall.